Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now, for this classic horror movie review, we kind of really want big stormy weather. We want rain, we want lightning, we want thunder, we want the wind rattling round the rafters of Kilt Mansion. But we ain't going to get that. Oh no, because the UK, where I am right now, is actually basking at the start of a huge heat wave. I say the start, it's been building up to this for the past couple of weeks. It just only got hotter. And right now as I speak, it's about 32 degrees. So it's not exactly the perfect weather for this kind of review. But even so, let's dig in. Now, I've covered a lot of classic horror movies on the channel, as you guys know. And only a few videos ago, I was unearthing what I thought was a neglected gem from Hammer Horror, The Evil of Frankenstein, which I love. It's not revered by the critics. It's lambasted by most, to be honest. But I said in that review that everyone I've ever spoken to has always loved it. Oh, it's great. And everyone's a Hammer fan. You know, oh no, that's one of my favourites, that one. It's great. And I said this, and then of course the response that I got from everyone loves it. It's great. Now, that is not the case for today's example, because everyone loved it anyway. The critics loved it, the fans loved it. The Devil Rides Out from 1968 is an unparalleled horror masterpiece. It's a milestone, not only for Hammer, but also for the genre itself. It's an occult black magic thriller. Now, remember at the time that came out, 1968, and it's based on a book by Dennis Wheatley from 1934. I have the 70s reprint copy with the nudie bits on the cover. Just adjust that. I'll show you. They released all of the great Dennis Wheatley and his horrors and thrillers and especially his black magic cycle. They reprinted all of those with little gorgeous ladies on the cover with bits on show and like ghastly ghoulish stuff as well. It's just wonderful. And Wheatley would approve of that as well, because he was into all this sort of stuff, you know, the black magic, the occult, the orgies. He describes them all in vivid detail. His creative consultant, who was it? The great beast himself, the wickedest man on earth, Aleister Crowley. Yeah, but so he had a lot of very good details in there. But The Devil Rides Out for 1968 for Hammer came at a time during the mid to late 60s and into the 70s was a huge boom time for the devil. The devil was riding high, well, not just riding out, he was riding the crest of the waves. And you have so many satanic cult movies. The Omen would be there, obviously The Exorcist would be there as well, and the many rip-offs of both those movies. But there'd be so many occult and like witchcraft type movies. Hammer themselves had involved themselves with other witchcraft movies, The Witches, of course, and others as well. And they would go on to do, well, the lamentable To the Devil a Daughter, which is another adaptation of Dennis Wheatley in a sort of, what was it, 74, 75, with Christopher Lee and Richard Widmark, who doesn't want to be there, and Natasha Kinski, who was underage at the time. But anyway, that's another story. Now, Dennis Wheatley wrote this in 1934, and it was part of an 11 novel cycle with his archetypal hero, the aristocratic debonair, but esoteric and Van Helsing type hero, Nicholas Duke de Richelieu, who is a master spy, a sleuth, detective, mercenary, a soldier, a patriot. You know, it's what a pure daring do sort of character. But Wheatley created two cohorts for him, which he dubbed the New Musketeers. And one of them is Rex Van Ryn, who is a two-fisted, you know, Indiana Jones style guy. He can fly his own biplane, he can drive tanks, he can do whatever he wants. Like, he's a man of action. And then you've got the younger guy, which is Simon Aaron, who's also part of this little trio. Now, these were all in various scrapes and adventures, but this particular story, The Devil Rides Out, is the one that really put that black magic, you know, gold star for Dennis Wheatley, because this is not only is it a great, terrific thriller and incredibly we're sorted now, don't worry. No more poking at the screen. A great detail-rich black magic saga of real nasty coven-led warlocks and the devil himself. But it's full of action, it's full of daring-do and heroics. And, you know, so it ticks a lot of boxes. It's wonderful stuff. Christopher Lee was a massive fan of Dennis Wheatley, and he'd long campaigned with Anthony Hines, who was then one of the head honchos of Hammer. Look, I want to get this done. Can we get Dennis Wheatley, get the rights to one of these books? Because I love this character, Duke the Richlow. I'm perfect for him. And he is perfect for it, of course. So, together with, I think the special effects guy actually got the rights first. I'm not sure how that came about, but someone else might know more details about this. But the guy who did the special effects for it got the rights for this. And then with Anthony Hines and with Hammer, they got it together. And they brought in the great sci-fi and horror fabulist Richard Matheson. Richard Matheson, who wrote I Am Legend, one of the greatest novels ever. The best zombie, vampire, post-apocalyptic, one man versus the world. Oh my God. Filmed many times. I've discussed it many times. They brought him on board to do it. And the reason why they brought him on board, an American, is because the first guy they got to adapt Wheatley's novel, Hines said, well, the script's great, but it's a little bit too English. Well, Dennis Wheatley's thoroughly English. You know, the whole etiquette and, you know, style and culture of the whole thing is very English. But Hines said, no, it's too English. Let's get an American. Bring on board a Yank. And they brought on board Richard Matheson. Now, they've had Richard Matheson before because I Am Legend, Hammer wanted to make that movie. And under the title Night Creatures, that's another title which has been used in Hammer movies as well. But under the title Night Creatures, Richard Matheson sort of adapted his own novel, I Am Legend. But the BBFC at the time, the censors just went, we're not having that. So sorry, move along now. Nothing to see here. And there was nothing to see there from Hammer as far as that film was concerned. That went on elsewhere, and we've had 3 versions of it so far, and another version could well be in the offing. But Matheson was still highly regarded, and Hammer loved his style, so he wrote an adaptation of Wheatley's novel. Now, Wheatley's novel has a lot of subplots. The basic gist, we're going to go right into it, don't worry folks, I'll give an overview right now. Our heroic trio are going to be engaged in a battle, a war of light magic, white magic against black magic. The evil warlock Mokata, who actually wants Simon as part of his coven, and another girl as well. And the battle lines are drawn. Our other 2 heroes, Rex Van Ryn and Nicholas Duke the Richlow, want to save their mate and this other girl who just happens to be there as well. But no, we might as well save her as well. She's innocent too. So the whole book is a confrontation between these 2. Lots of spells, incantations, meetings with visions and entities and the devil himself, orgies. Yeah, it's all there. And but there's huge subplots about why MacArthur's doing what he's doing. Him and his sect want to instigate another war using the talisman of Set. And so you've got all of this, plus you've got lots of backstory about exploits they've done before and other bits and bobs. So Matheson just went, look, the actual essence of this story is get these guys who are fighting for good. They're trying to save their mate, and they're going to bring in some other friends, and they're going to form this side, the good side. But we've got the bad side, and the bad side have the devil involved as well. So holy shit, literally, big confrontation, a final conflict as it transpires. And so jettison all this other stuff and just have the conflict between these 2 groups, and to save the innocent lives and souls of these people. And my God, does it work. It is fast. This hits the ground running, and it is magnificent. So, okay, there's the gist of what's going on. Let's get into it properly. But first of all, and sadly, it's Johnny Walker, Red Label. This is one of those whiskies that the smell hits you 3 miles before you've even opened the bottle. It's one of them. Oh Christ. But it's all I've got at the moment, so make do. Cheers, y'all. So the film starts off with Rex Van Ryn rides in on his biplane to meet his 2 buddies because they meet up regularly and they have a big luncheon and they get together and they converse over their old acts of daring do. And it's a wonderful bit of bonhomie and camaraderie. But only Duke the Richlow turns up, and he's very rich, you know, and he's got, like, I think it's an old roller or something. Like, these are 1920s cars, vintage jalopies, but they look magnificent, and he's there. So, and Rex just turns up in his plane. So, Duke the Richlow is Christopher Lee. Sorry, let's just get that out the way now. Christopher Lee, who loved this character and always said that this is his favourite of all the Hammer films he's ever made, this movie, and he wanted to do more of the Duke the Richlow stories, but that never happened. Rex Van Ryn is played by Leon Greene, and Leon Greene is wonderful. He has a look in certain scenes, action scenes, of the great Robert Urich from Vegas and Spencer for Hire and the Ice Pirates. I love him. He has a look of that. Doesn't have the voice of him though, because they revoiced Leon Greene. Leon Greene he's an operatic singer and a star of stage and screen. But on the stage, he had a great commanding voice and he could sing. What did Hammer do? Hammer revoiced him with the awesomely great Patrick Allen. Is it Patrick Allen? You know, oh, have I done that? Patrick Allen. Patrick Allen was in many TV shows, and he was the voice of many adverts, many commercials during the 70s, because he had a very deep voice, very commanding, very assertive, very authoritarian. He's also he makes a 2-second appearance in the wonderful Who Dares Wins, the Lewis Collins SAS classic. Covered it many times. He comes in, he's the head of, I don't know, CID or something like. He says about 2 lines, but his voice just commands it all. And they revoiced an operatic singer with him. Now, if you watch the trailer for the movie, Rex Van Ryn, that's the character he's playing. Leon Greene's voice is in the trailer. But in the film itself, having just watched it again, in the film itself, if you're careful and you listen, there's a couple of sequences where that is genuinely Leon Greene's voice. That's not Patrick Allen's voice. But listen out for it and you'll hear it. So, Leon Greene plays Rex Van Ryn. And you've got, oh my God, Patrick Mower as Simon Aaron, the young Simon Aaron. Now, I said that Leon Greene looks like Robert Urich in some shots. But Patrick Mower, and I love Patrick Mower. Target, yes, he was awesome. He's in Emmerdale now. He's still going strong, still looking cool, looking like some kind of aging hipsty. That's a cross between a hippie and hipster. It's a hipsty, and with his little bootlace sort of necklace on. Like, he's great. He looks like Tobey Maguire. I'm not wrong. Go and watch the film again. He's Tobey Maguire. So you want to see how Tobey Maguire's going to look in about 3 or 4 decades time? Watch Emmerdale right now, because there he is. That's how he's going to look. But Patrick Mower plays the younger one of the new musketeers, Simon Aaron. So anyway, these 2 get together, Duke the Richlow and Rex Van Ryn. Oh, well, where's Simon? Are you meeting him soon? Well, that's why I called you, because I haven't seen Simon for a while. What do you mean? Yes, he hasn't been frequenting his normal haunts. Apparently he's bought a house in the country, a very expensive one, with some modifications. Well, it sounds very intriguing. So we're going to go and find out what's been going on, because something's not right. Do you think he's in trouble then? Nicholas, Duke the Richlow, do you think he's in trouble? Well, if he was in trouble, he would approach his friends, wouldn't he? He would have. Something's afoot. So, what do? They waste no time. They go straight to this new house that Simon's bought. And it's a wonderful old edifice, but with a new extension, which is done by visual and optical and miniature work. which is a huge observatory. Looks wonderful as well. And they knock on the door, and like they're not expected. And the footman says, who, may I help you? Mr. Simon Aaron, please. We're his friends. And you go in there. But what's happening? Duke de Richelieu knows that something really sinister is happening. And you go in there, and there's a great big gathering of people there. He and Rex do not know. But there's Simon, looking very nervous. Oh my God, here's my two best friends. Didn't expect to see you here. You shouldn't be here. Hello everyone. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, I'm sorry, I've been so busy of late. I forgot about our reunion. Well, what's happening here, Simon? Looks very interesting. Oh, nice wine, by the way. You always wear a good choice of wine. Who are all these people? Oh, it's just a small group, a society I've joined. And Duke de Richelieu's like, he knows exactly what's going on. And we all know what's going on there. And he said, it's an astronomical society. That's why I bought this place with a telescope and all that. So who's in charge here? What's the whole event about? And Duke de Richelieu's trying to say to Rex, just go around and listen to what everyone's saying, because we're about to be asked to go. And Rex is like, the fuck are you on about? What's going on here? Simon! Hey, who's that fit young filly over there? Off I go. Introduce myself. I fly a biplane, I fought in the Spanish Civil War. All this kind of shit. And the evil Mokata, this warlock, is there. He's played by, in the best performance he's ever given, Charles Gray, with piercing blue eyes. He was Blofeld in Diamonds Are Forever. Not the best of Bonds, let's be honest, but he's great in it. He's in so many other movies. His suave, sort of smarmy, slimy sophistication always plays a huge key part in his performances. This is his signature role. James Bernard's thunderous score, for this movie is playing all the way through this video, by the way. And it's a doozy. He is marvelous as Mokata, this warlock. And they are there because they need a coven of 13. There's a conjunction of stars and planets. So they're gonna sacrifice some chickens upstairs, and but these two new people, they shouldn't be there. So Mokata's like, hello, and who are you? Any friends of Simon's I'd love to meet? Who are you? And there's a very gorgeous young filly there called Tanith. Now, Tanith is played by Nike Arrighi. And everyone always goes on about how bizarre accents. Well, Nike Arrighi was born and spent most of her young life in France. She was a model in France. Her father was an Italian consulate. They decamped to Australia, and she went back to Europe, and she filmed European movies and worked in the UK. Her accent is a product of all of those locations, and it is very aloof and ethereal. There is a twang of an accent in there, but it also passes a very posh sort of English, but very floaty and strange and dreamlike and hypnotic. And this is a film which has so much in the way of hypnotism, not only happening on screen, but the way it plays out is very hypnotic as well, which is truly, truly wonderful. One of its great, feathers in its cap, its big satanic cap. So, but Rex knows Tanith. Don't I know you? No, I don't think so. No, we don't think we've ever met. No, we've definitely met before. But they're kind of getting ushered out by now. There is this Countess there, Countess d'Urtha, or something like that, played by, hang on a second. Oh, I don't know. Did I put her name down? Yeah, Gwen Francon Davis. Now, she's cross-eyed and she smokes cigars, but she's great, She's this weird old buzzard, and she's like, oh, are you not part of this group, this circle? And once people realise that you're not part of the group, the atmosphere changes, and Mokata you see him whispering to Simon, like, get these fuckers out of here, do it now. And like, oh man, Nicholas, Rex, I'm so sorry about this, it's so embarrassing, but this is a private meeting, and if I'd known I'd invited you, but because you're not part of the group, you can't be here. Oh, that's all right, that's perfectly fine, Simon. Don't you worry about it. Oh, by the way, before we go, can I just see your telescope? Says, I've got a very great interest in astronomy. Come on, Simon, show me. And up they go, up the stairs, into this little annex that he's had built. And this is a film as well, folks. I've got to say right now, because I love this. Films Hammer made in the 60s and the James Bond films made with Sean Connery in the 60s had the clickety-clack, polished floors and, patent leather shoes, clickety-clack on the soundtrack. And I love it. It's one of those, I don't know, it's something nostalgic, from your childhood, from watching these films all the time, like when you were growing up. And it's a reassuring clickety-clack. But it's so acute on the soundtrack that it's almost like they've done it deliberately. Anyway, reluctantly, Simon takes them upstairs to show them his observatory. When they get up there, and they've got the big glass dome and the telescope there, which is not, the huge element that we're interested in. Shades of the Talbot mansion in The Wolfman with its observatory and telescope as well there. But around the walls, you've got esoteric designs, occult symbolism, and like, I like the way you've had this place redecorated. Oh no, it was already here, but I thought I'd just upkeep it. Like, I like the way you kept it up with the flooring as well, because the ornate tiled floor is a big, the ghost of Mendes, Baphomet, who's making an appearance here, and will make an appearance in the movie as well. We're coming to that. Baphomet, or Baphomet as some people call him as well, but the goat of Mendes, the devil, basically. And the effigy of him is in the, coloured tiles on the floor. And like, this is very interesting. This, I think it's a nice design, says Simon. Simon's like, he's a bit nervous. You guys have got to get going soon. And you hear this sort of chittering in the background. Mice, says Rex. No, says Christopher Lee, the Duke de Richelieu, throwing open some doors to a closet. Wicker basket, Christopher Lee and Wicker. Hell's it open? There's 2 chickens there, a white hen and a red or a black cockerel, one of them. Anyway, which is all part of this satanic ritual. They're going to be sacrificed at night. You fool, he says to Simon. You fool! I'd rather see you dead than meddling with black magic. What do you mean? And like, Rex is like, what the fuck? What's happening? This is all kidology. What's happening here? I love that design, by the way. And chicken, can I have it roasted later on, please? And all this kind of shit's going on. They want to get Simon out there, because what's happening is McCarthy is absorbing Simon into this occult sect that he's got. He needs him. And but Duke de Richelieu's sussed onto this, like, Simon, you must come out of here. I'm going to save your life. But no, I know you're my friends, but that doesn't mean you have the right to intrude upon my life and what I want to do. Boosh! A right hook to the chin. Knocks out Simon. You will find in this movie there's a lot of the good guys smacking other good guys for their own benefit with a good right hook. He's over the shoulder and down they go. And he managed to escape the place, but not quite. The footman who answered the door, he was a little older guy, well, not older, but he certainly couldn't. The statuesque Christopher Lee, and this little fella comes up, what? And Christopher Lee fucks him over, good style. Bash, boosh. He gets a fucking backhand as well, like. Sends him sprawling, knocking over a candelabra in the hall, the big marble hall. And off they go. McCarter and his crew come out, and McCarter, sees the body there. Looks out the open doorway. Here's the revving of a jalopy. Battle lines are drawn. Okay. You've messed with the wrong warlock. So, they secrete him back to Duke de Richelieu's pad in London, a penthouse suite sort of thing, and wonderful set design. Bernard Hammer's regular art director and production designer, Bernard Robinson, has he pulls out all the stops. This film it's filmed. It's with this is a Hammer and Seven Arts production. It's filmed not at Bray, or they do use Bournemouth and Blackwood, but they filmed all the interiors are filmed at Elstree Studios. But there's a lot of exteriors in Bournemouth and like that. It's gorgeous. Like, it's a fantastic looking movie. So the set design is wonderful, and it's very big as well. All the rooms are opulent and huge, and some of them are on several, you step up onto another level as well. The windows go out onto a painted backdrop, but it looks wonderful. The colour design, the lighting is extraordinary. It's exquisite. So they bring him back there, and this is a film where people are relied on to do just the most simplest of tasks, and they all fuck up on them, all of them. And so you've got Duke de Richelow's servants, and they bring it in. They've got fucking Patrick Mower. They've got Simon over their shoulder. They put him on a settee, and they bring him round. But Duke de Richelieu can do hypnotism as well. So they wake up Patrick Mower and like Simon, and then put him back to sleep. When you wake up in the morning, you'll be totally fine. You'll feel safe. You'll feel at home. There's no worries. There's no issues in the world. And it causes his servant, his butler, show Mr. Simon out into my room. So off he goes, like, no worries. But they've given him a crucifix, a silver crucifix to wear on his neck. That'll protect you. Leave this on. Don't take it off. Anyway, whilst Duke de Richelieu has now got to answer a barrage of questions from Rex. And like he's trying to say, look, the world, the supernatural is real. Black magic is real. Witchcraft, it's real. This is the one thing I have about this movie. And I've only read in the cycle of I've got a couple of other books, but I've not got the full 11 novels with Duke de Richelieu. But I'm sure that throughout those, it's probably explained. It's probably explained in this one. I've not read the book for a long time. How Duke de Richelieu knows everything about the supernatural and everything about musketry and sword fighting and flying planes and submarines. He knows everything about everything. And but Rex and Simon know all this about him, but they didn't know that he was a fucking master white magician, and a battler for human souls against hell and Satan. How did they keep that quiet? How have they not known this? And he basically says to Rex, look, listen, you may not have known this, but I've studied the esoteric arts all my life, and I'm an adept. I can't even say it. I am an adept, and that means he's very proficient in the arts of magic, incantations, and so he explains to him it's all real, and it's just just because you don't believe in it, but you it's true, and you can see the effect it's had on Simon, and like Rex is like, oh, with Patrick Allen's voice. Rex is just going like, and by the way, the actual dubbing is really good. Only a couple of scenes where you think, hang on, he's not saying those lines. It's not like kung fu stuff. It's chop socky, Daniel, kill you now. It isn't like that. It's actually done pretty well for the most part. And but he's going like, no, black magic, mumbo jumbo. I don't know. It's all codswallop to me. Come on now, Nicholas, you don't believe any of this. Well, on the contrary, says Christopher Lee, I do, and he waxes lyrical about it all. In the meantime, McCarter is putting his evil long-distance spell upon Simon, because Simon's part of this coven. He needs Simon because they want to form a very strong coven of 13. But Simon and Tanith, Nike Arrighi, the one he recognised, they have not been baptised yet. We're going to come on to that. So that he needs them for this baptism on the big grand Sabbath, the big Sabbath on the eve of May Day. So you're going to get all that to come. Because it's the next day. Timing's everything, isn't it, with these things? And so, in the meantime, he's put this long distance hex on Simon. Come to me. And Simon's, because he put this silver crucifix around his neck, his hand's possessed, and it starts taking it and starts twisting it around, and he starts garrotting himself. Now, Christopher Lee's butler here, Patrick Mower leans over and manages to hit the buzzer, on the side of the bed. Room service. So the servant comes in, because he's only supposed to watch him, take care of him, see that he doesn't leave the room. And he goes in there, and obviously sees, he's like, his eyes are bugging out. Then we cut to like, after this discussion, and they walk out the room, but the manservant comes down and he goes like, "Sir, I removed this from Mr. Aaron's neck." "What? You did what? What?" "Well, it was choking him. His eyes were bulging. His skin had already turned black. Did I do something wrong?" Because obviously he's took it off, and like Simon's then fucked off, gone out the penthouse windows, obviously Spider-Man style, because he looks like Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man. See what I did there? Comes down the wall, escapes. He's going back to see McCarter, and like Christopher Reeve's like, "You did what? You took it off him? Sir, did I do something wrong?" No, it's not your fault. You will find this a lot in this movie, that people don't do exactly what they were meant to do. But he has to forgive him because he hasn't told him why. If he just told him, don't take it off, because there's an evil magician out there who's going to try to get him back, and he'll do all sorts. Just tell them. Fucking tell them. So, right. They've now got to try and find Simon again. And like, well, how are we going to do this then? And like Rex goes like, "Yeah, that girl. Oh no, hang on a minute. I missed a bit. I'm leaping ahead. They race back to Simon's house with the big observatory and all that. They race back there, but it's empty, deserted, and they sneak in. It's a great creepy scene as well. Like they go in there and they're sneaking around and there's no one there. They're like, "Let's go upstairs. Let's go to the..." Because obviously the ritual that they were going to do before, which these guys interfered with and ruined, and then abducted. A lot of abductions in this movie as well. Abducted Simon. To get up there, and no, it's empty. And they, "What about the chickens?" Whoosh, they open the door again, throw the basket open. The chickens are still there. So Rex says, "Well, at least we saved your lives. What do we do now?" "Well, this is serious now. We've got to find Simon." "Yeah, but how do we do that?" Something begins to bubble in the goat of Mendes is emblazoned across the floor there in the tiles. Something's fizzing and smoking away there. And what you get is a gin, not a gin and tonic. Oh God, which reminds me. Oh dear. If you've got one, cheers, y'all. Sup up. Play the Kilt-Man drinking game. Each time I have a swig, you have a swig. And let's see who's still standing at the end of the video. It won't be me. This thing fizzes and an effigy appears, and it is a monstrously big sort of djinn, a big black guy with like sort of blazing orange cat-like eyes, and like this is a great scene. Now in the book, it's actually the manservant that was opening the door at Simon's party with the cult, the coven, and it's a monstrous version of him. It's now referred to often as this is another version of the devil, because you will see the devil again later on as the Ghost of Mendes, but this is meant to be the devil as well in the movie, because you haven't seen this guy before, and he's getting bigger and bigger, and he's just standing there like topless in like an orange sort of sarong type thing, and he's just there and he's just staring at these guys, and DeRichlo's going like, "Don't look in his eyes, Rex, don't look in his eyes." It's because Rex is going like, can't help but look. And then he's like, "Don't go near him, Rex, don't go near him." What did I tell you? "Our very souls depend upon it." And Rex is just going, So he manages to find like another crucifix. In fact, I think it's the one that was around Simon Aaron's neck, and the manservant went, "I got this, it was killing him." And it's that, he fucking alarms it at this thing. Boof! In a cloud of smoke. It's gone! My God, what was that? Because we cut to them in the jalopy going back and all that. Like, where the chickens are now, I don't know. Mackie D's probably. And they're in this jalopy going back. And it's one of those scenes where, even with the dubbed on voice of Patrick Allen, you've got, it wouldn't matter whose voice it was, but you've got Leon Greene as Rex Van Ryn, who's sitting there, the Duke's driving, like, back screen and all that. And he's going like, "I never would have believed it. Now, I can't believe how terrified I've been." In the most overconfident of voices, "I've never been so terrified in all my life. That was the most shocking thing I've ever witnessed. My God, what was that?" "That was an evil demon conjured by Mokata. It's only imperative now that we must get Simon back. Time is too short. They must need him for some particular event. What's the date? And they work out the date. Shit! Tomorrow is the eve of May Day. That's the greatest Sabbath of all. That's when they all meet together in a great big orgy, and the devil himself will be there to preside over things, and they will be in the covenant, and they'll be beyond our help then. We must get them now. When I say them, what they realise is they've got to try to get where the hell is Simon going to be and McCarter and this cult going to be. And this cult, by the way, everyone goes on about woke and diversity these days. This is 1968, and in this cult, you've got African dudes, you've got Indian ladies, you've got European people, you've got Asians. So, it's multi-ethnic already, multicultural. And because the devil doesn't mind, who he takes under his wing. And so they go back to Duke de Richelow's place, and Richelieu goes like, well, that girl, you said you know her. Yes. What was her name again? Right, Tanith, and I forgot to fucking say her name now. Right, you get some sleep. I'll ring around all the hotels here, because she said something about they were going back to Europe soon, because she and that countess, the cross-eyed countess, who you'll see again, although she won't see you, not with them eyes. You're going to see them again. They were going back to Europe, or something like that anyway. So she's here in London. Right, you get some sleep, Rex, and I will phone around all the hotels in London. I'll find her. And it takes him all fucking night to do so. But he does, if you watch it, Rex is lying on his settee there, and you see in the back, it's a great set. It's a wonderful, spacious, the cinematography is wonderful, the lighting is wonderful, the set design is exquisite. Christopher Lee's way back in the background, and Rex Van Ryn is lying on his settee, snoozing, and it's morning time, and the phone goes down. Thank you very much. Comes over, and Rex is lying there. Christopher Lee walks around that side of him and fucking taps him behind his back on that shoulder. So it's fucking Rex Van Ryn goes, looks that way, and he should have gone, got ya, because he's on the other side. He reaches for a hand and does that on that side. Rex, I hope you're well rested. I found out where she is. You've got a job to do now. You must go to her and bring her to somewhere safe, not back here, somewhere out of London. Because they know that this girl's going to be, she's part of all this, so we've got to get her as well. She'll tell us where this guy is, where McCarter is, and the cult. Take her to Richard's place in the country. They bring in an innocent family into this diabolical world of devilry and death and debauchery, with their little 6-year-old daughter, who will play a huge part in this. Well, thank you, Duke de Richelieu. What the fuck have we done to deserve this shit on our doorstep? But that's what they'll do. Anyway, yeah, take it. Go and get her. Take her to Richard's. And I'll meet you there at, say, 3 o'clock. That should give you plenty of time. Don't worry, Nicholas. I've got it in the bag. Because there's nothing that could go wrong. And it doesn't go wrong, really. Because you don't see him going to meet Tanith. And the next thing, well, where do you go, Nicholas? I'm going to the British Museum. Sorry, a bit of Sean Connery crept in there. Oh, yes, I'm going to the British Museum. To go and bone up on some old, archaic, occult tomes, which are kept under lock and key. But one of the curators is a friend of mine, so we'll be all right. And I'll meet you there at 3. So that's the idea. So then you get Rex Van Ryn and Nike Arrighi as Tanith. Back screen projection, bumbling along the country roads, off to see the Eaton family, and he's making small talk, and she's got along with this. I'd love to have seen a sequence where he actually does convince her to come out driving, when she knows she's got to be at this fucking Sabbath, the next day, or rather that night. That's that night. And how did she go with? By the way, you've got nothing to fear. The Duke will sort everything out. Nothing to fear. From what? What's so important you've got to say to me out in the countryside that you can't say to me at the Sabbath? Because she still thinks she's part of this, this group. And he goes, the Sabbath? Well, I'm not really part of that. We shouldn't even be talking. And she tries to get out the fucking car. There's no roof on this thing. She tries to get out of it. It grabs. Don't ever do that again. He's like, look, listen, you're going to be safe. Don't worry about McCarter. You know, what's he done to you to make you so afraid? And she says enigmatically, and it's brilliant. She goes, it's not what he's done. It's what he'll do. It's what he'll do. And then he goes like, well, don't you worry about a thing. Duke the Risk, who's been round the block or two. I've seen a few things in the last few hours to make me believe it all. And as he starts babbling on, his voice trails off into like vapors. And suddenly you hear Charles Gray's voice as McCarter. And like you see, I think you see his eyes in the rear view mirror, and he's staring at air. This film has a lot of close-ups of eyes, and they're exquisite. They really are penetrating. And Charles Gray's eyes are just unbelievable, you know. And his voice, his mellifluous voice, it's so soothing and hypnotic that you do drift off with his voice. I mean, it works. It genuinely works. So he says, don't you listen to him, you know. You're safe. I'm with you. As soon as you get a chance, get away. Come back to me. Blah, 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 blah. And then his voice fades out and Rex's voice comes back in. And he's like, have you been listening to me? Yes. I've been listening. Not to you. To my boss. And then you meet the Eatons. The Eatons are played... Richard Eaton is played by... oh, God. Christ, what's his name? Paul Eddington? Oh, come on now. Paul Eddington, who was in loads of British sitcoms, and he's wonderful. He was in Yes Minister and then Yes Prime Minister, and he was the minister and then the Prime Minister, and he was an idiot, but he was a good idiot, you know, and he was always being coerced by his aides, and they say, like, you know, oh, it's just fiction. Is it that kind of in reality? What is politics if not being led astray by your devious, you know, pocket, you know, line your own pockets, aides all across the board, bastards, one and all. But Paul Eddington is wonderful as an upper crust sort of skeptic in this, and a bumbling buffoon as well, but he's lovable. So they've got a lovely sort of ancestral seat. It is a gorgeous place, it really is. Lovely gardens and forest all around and meadows. It's wonderful. It's a genuine location as well. So like, well, and obviously Christopher Lee's put the call in, so Rex is coming with some new girl. Don't you worry about that. Oh, and the little 6-year-old Peggy, her name is, played by Rosalind Lander, who was in Cat's Eyes, the TV show, not the movie, not the Stephen King Cat's Eyes, which I covered recently, and a few other TV shows. And she's fantastic, a little girl, but she's wonderful in this. And she's in her joggers and running around the front garden. And they're putting out a picnic or something like that. Oh, Uncle Rex will be here soon with his new filly, his new bit on the side. And anyway, it turns up, and they're like, hello, Richard. And Sarah, played by, Mary. Sorry, Mary is the wife, the mother. But she's played by Sarah Lawson. And she's wonderful in this. She's really good. And we're obviously going to talk more about her. And like, so they've got their own little grassy roundabout and a drive, and they come spinning around. Richard, Marie, and like the little girl, Peggy's like, Uncle Rex. Got a lot of uncles in this movie. All our main guys are all, apart from my dad, are all uncles. You've got even good old Uncle McCarter. You know, he'll look after you. Just don't get the Ouija board out. And Rex gets out, Uncle Rex, and he's like, hello, Richard, hello, Marie. And in the background, fucking Tanith, just because she's under the spell of McCarter, just fucking revs up, fucks off. So he's like, Christ, can I take your car? So he gets in his mate Richard, Paul Eddington's car, and like spins off. And in a great line, and it is great, the little girl just goes, he didn't stay long, did he? Because they've been looking forward to his arrival, put the picnic tables out and all this, and he's just fucked off again. Then you get this chase in these old jalopies down these country lanes. This is wonderful. Forgive the back projection. You're going to get that. You've got to expect that. That's fine. But there are stuntmen driving these cars at high speed, you know, around these little windy country lanes, blind corners and all sorts. And of course she sees this, and like McCarter's like controlling her as well. Like, don't worry, you're perfectly safe. I'll take care of this. So you get like there's like a frost takes over the windshield, the windscreen of Rex's car, but it's actually Richard's car, which he's nicked. And in a great shot, he just goes, it's completely gone frosted. He goes, fuck off. punches a fist through it, and he's like driving, looking through this hole in there, and it's wonderful. And she spins around the corner. Don't worry, keep driving. You're coming to me. And then this strange fog. She drives through, and a fog comes right behind it and fills the road. Poor Rex comes out. He's like, Jesus, can't see a thing. Oh, off into a ditch, hits a tree, trashes the car, comes out. And now here you go, folks. This is something. Get your drinks out. This is something which I've looked at a lot. Having just watched it before, I've watched it a few times, this sequence, and tried to freeze the frame on the guy. But anyway, cheers. The great stuntman Eddie Powell is in this movie. Stuntman and actor, monster player, and stunt double for Christopher Lee. He would be the double for Christopher Lee in many movies. In this film, he is the goat of Mendes, which we're going to come on to. But he's a stuntman as well. Now, in this sequence, he crashes the car, and then he wakes up and he gets away from the wreckage, and he stumbles off, and he goes out into that main road, this country lane, which he crashed off, and there's a car coming down. This is Leon Greene. I swear to you right now, this is not Eddie Powell. And I've listened to the commentary track, and I've read all my notes on it and all the research stuff I've got on it. Nowhere, someone might correct me, but nowhere does it say that that is Eddie Powell or any other stuntman doing it. You see him walk towards you in one shot, right? He's walking towards you in the suit, and it's the same face. That is Rex Van Ryn, well, the actor, Leon Greene, walking towards you. Another jalopy's coming speeding around the corner, and he obviously hears it. No fast motion here, no sped up film, and he steps out on the road and just goes like to wave it down. This thing goes right at him, because who's driving it? The cross-eyed countess, the Earther. Like Clarence the cross-eyed lion, fucking driving like that, fucking cigar, and I go, no, then the cigar's there. She's like, but she's evil as well, like, and she basically hits him, the wing of this jalopy. He manages to just dive out the way and then roll into the ditch again and then get up. That is, and someone tell me it's not, that is Leon Greene who's done that stunt. This is the guy that's an operatic singer and stage and screen actor, and yet he does a stunt like that. I know I've mentioned Peter Cushing in Evil of Frankenstein doing a lot of his own stunts. And he swung across, from in the burning laboratory, and he got his hands scalded by the heat in the room. But he does this high-rise Errol Flynn style, flinging himself across the room on a rope. So Hammer clearly allowed some of their stars to do stunts. Now this stunt itself, you watch that scene, and even if I'm wrong and it's a stuntman, fucking hell, that could have killed him. He gets out in there's no more splits of seconds that you could get out the way in time of. There's no other time gap. It's just, he's hit by that thing. Whoa, gets out the way and does a big roll into the ditch. It's a wonderful stunt. And it's like, you're kidding me. And I think that's him. I think that's Leon Greene. Someone tell me otherwise. I dare you. And he gets up and he fucking runs after it. And he gets this, another big country estate. And there's tons of jalopies, Bentleys and rollers all there. And he's like, hang on a minute. But as he gets there, everyone's coming out from this, and there's Charles Graham MacArthur. You've got Tanith, who's got back there in time. You've got the Countess there, and you've got Simon Patrick Mower is there, and they're all getting on these cars, and like Rex Van Ryn secretes himself on the back of one of these jalopies, and they drive off into the woods because it's the eve of May Day. It's the big Sabbath. Yes, it's that big moment. It's Glastonbury. Yes, come on now. Headlining act, the Goat of Mendes himself. And you are going to get that. So, Rex sees all this shit going on, and they're all in robes, and there's fucking hundreds of them, there's hundreds, and it's all great, orgiastic fun, although massively toned down. As even Christopher Lee does talk about real Sabbats and black masses and the stuff that goes on, and he knows. By the way, I know what goes on. I've got a couple of stories which if you remind me, and you'll have to because I'm going to forget this, I know a few people who are heavily involved in occult and black magic. I don't keep in touch with these people. their souls have gone now, to the underworld. But during the 90s, I knew a few people that did a lot of weird shit like that. So I know a few things about, the reality of these things, as opposed to the stereotypical image that Aleister Crowley and Dennis Wheatley put out there. But, it's bad. But the film shies away from that. You get the sacrifice of a goat. No real goats were killed, folks. And you get fountains of Kensington gore, lashings of put into a big goblet, and the obscene sort of depravity and the reversal, the corruption of Christian services and rituals and Catholicism was all subverted. You got all that. And it's quite a hectic scene of abandonment. In the meantime, Rex manages to find a public payphone and get in touch with our boy, Duke the Richlow. Get your fucking ass down here because it's all kicking off, man. It's all kicking off. You want to take the turn off from here by the big oak tree and then come that way and go left, go right, and then follow the sense of goat shit. And you'll be there. And the Duke gets there just in time. But he's been to the British Museum and he's got a couple of things to protect themselves with. He's got mercury and salt, and 2 files of it. Put one in each pocket, Rex. They'll protect you. They're very strong against evil. But what have you got? I've got my own protection. He's wearing a Johnny. Yes, safe sex. It's a big orgy, I've heard. So safe sex tonight for me, says the guy that will become Lord Summerisle. the god of fertility. So, and they arrive there. Now, this orgy is taking on a whole new fucking aspect now. Everyone's riding around, and it's all tribal drums. Now, I've got the music to it here. Let's play that if I can find it. Oh, shit, where have I put it? God damn it, when is it? Oh, we are. Must be this. There you go. They're all like writhing around in their robes. And MacArthur's there. Charles Gray, beautifully between like flames, big flaming candelabras and a big altar. The goat's been slain. And then, right, you've got Rex and you've got Duke the Richlow on this little grassy knoll. They're always shady places to be, grassy knolls. Isn't that right, JFK? And like they're watching, looking down like that. It's too late. What can we do? And like, this is the baptism. They get new names. This is the whole crux of why you want Simon there. Simon's not been baptised into the left-hand path so far. And Christopher Lee's characters thought, like, well, that's Tanith. Tanith is an old, traditional, archaic name. That's her name for the sect. And like, but Rex Van Rin's learned that no, that's her birth name. She hasn't been baptised yet. We can still save her. Right. So, like, Richard just wants to save his mate, Simon. Oh, got to rescue the fucking girl as well now. Christ almighty. That's made it twice as hard now, hasn't it? And but so it's her baptism as well tonight. Right. And then suddenly, the fucking goat of Mendez appears on this altar. Baphomet himself, it's got the ram's head, the goat's head, the horns, and like, it's Eddie Powell, the stuntman, bedecked in a Roy Ashton makeup. Roy Ashton was uncredited on this movie. Roy Ashton had done many the makeups for Hammer movies, but it's Eddie Knight and Roy Ashton. Eddie Knight got the credit for it, and it's great. It's a great looking mask, a bit like our little Krampus mask here. Big ram's horns and, lots of grey fur around his shoulders and his chest. And he's sitting there cross-legged, but he's got cloven hooves. I mean, it's clever the way they've done it. He's not sitting there wearing like fucking leggings with cloven hooves on. He's just seated or stood behind the rock he's meant to be on. And he's just chest up like that. And he's like there, like, giving it loads, enjoying the proceedings. And probably a fake pair of legs with these cloven hooves and hairy legs in front of him. And like, obviously all the fucking congregation, all the orgiastic mass are like having selfies with him. It's me, the devil. Hey, come on now. Come on, devil. One more. Sign this. Can you just sign here, please? Sign here. Baphomet. Goat of Mendez. Beelzebub. And like Baphomet's like that. With cloven thumbs. fucking great sequence. And to be honest, it's a groundbreaking one because you're showing the devil. You're genuinely showing the devil. John Trevelyan, in charge of the BBFC at the time, loads of controversy with Hammer throughout the decades, as you know. Said, look, you're really treading on thin ice with this. You've got to be careful now. We want no subversion of iconic Christian or Catholic symbolism. Don't do that. And like Christopher Lee always says, like, well, it's not a subversion, it's not a parody. Everything in Catholicism and Christianity has its reverse in, you know, the occult and black magic. So it's not a parody, it's the reverse, it's the opposite of it. And John Trevelyan apparently went, oh, okay, well, I bow down to you, Count Dracula, because you know more than I do about this shit. But it is very tame considering what you'd see in later years and movies, but it's still strong stuff for its time. And the potent writhing around, that cross-eyed Bince, she's still there. She's like, oh, giving it low. She's about fucking 60, 70, something like that. You know, but she's great. And they're drinking goblets of blood and all that. Like, and this guy comes up to Mower and Nike Arrighi, Tanith and Simon, and fucking throws, you know, blood all over it. She's like, oh, Christ, you know. Well, not Christ. That wouldn't go down too well. And like, but Patrick Mower's like, kind of, you know, they've not succumbed to all this yet, like, and he's kind of looking a bit nervous. But some of these orgiastic vixens in their robes are like cavorting all over him, and you can quite clearly see he's like, oh, maybe later, you know. Once that fucking goat's not looking, I don't want to do it in front of him, you know. But how do we stop this? Oh, I think we could be too late, Rex. We could be too late. There must be something. They could blind him with the lights. That's it, lights. The headlights of the car. So they get in the jalopy and Rex get on the running board and like, here's the crucifix. Hail it at him. Hail it at that obscenity, that abomination. So they fucking drive down. Fucking going for it. Hell for leather. In some shots, Christopher Lee's driving that car. In some shots, it's not. But in most shots, once again, that's Leon Greene on the running board of that car, thundering down, people. And like, it's a great sequence, this, the big rescue. And Rex hails his fucking crucifix at the ghost of Mendez. Poof! Cloud of smoke. He's gone. Everyone's like, no. It's always a fucking party people, isn't it? Rex leaps off, like, and he's fucking slugging these, you know, these disciples. Bang! Fuck off. Left, right, and centre. Go on, Simon, wake up, come with me. And like, he's got to get the girl as well, like, and he's fucking smacking people. And even McCarthy, Charles Gray, gets a fucking sock in the teeth. Rex just goes, and they are great. You look at Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is based on the 1920s and 30s cliffhanger stuff, whether they be little one-strip comics in newspapers, or the serials that were on TV, on cinema and on radio. And they were always two-fisted guys. Roundhouse, boof, right hook. And he does it to McCarthy. And it's a great shot as well. He just goes, right, he's already done a few guys. And he just goes, fuck off like that. And Charles Gray just goes, oof, in his purple rose, oof. And he goes, it's fucking boss. Kick the shit out of these guys. That's what I say. And they get off, like, run, they're driving up again. And they get away with it. So they go back to the Eaton's house. Remember that lovely couple with their lovely young daughter. Nice and innocent, the whole lot. And they bring the devil to their doorstep. Nice one. Cheers for that. They arrive back there. And this is a great sequence as well. So like put these people to bed and watch over them. For fuck's sake, watch over them. You know, I want someone to sit next to Simon and someone to sit next to what's her name? Tanith. Sit next to them. Make sure they don't leave. Whatever you do, make sure they do not leave. They're not safe yet. Then they have to explain what's going on. By the way, Richard, sorry I fucked your car up. You know, sorry I arrived for literally 5 seconds and then stole your car and trashed it into a tree. Oops, a daisy. My bad. And now, you know, we're bringing Beelzebub to a banquet tonight. Hey, good to see you. So they have to explain what's been happening. And like the mother, Marie Eaton, played by Sarah Lawson, she's wonderful, you know. she believes what's happening, and she believes all these guys appear to be uncles. Although I think Duke the Rich, though, is actually her genuine uncle, because they really do emphasise that. Ask your uncle. He can tell you better than me. All this kind of shit, like. But Richard, Paul Eggleston, is like, just like, fuck off. You're rid of the devil and go to bed. I'm like, fucking. I'll have another drink if you don't mind. Oh, let's all do that. Cheers. He's just having none of it. No, Richard, you must believe. You must understand. Anyway, you must watch these people. Keep them safe. I must go back to, I think he goes back to London, and he's got to go and get some stuff together because he knows what's going to happen next. I've got to get some gear together. And so off he goes. So the next day, it is daytime now, and they're being watched upstairs. Rex is watching Tanith. Richard's watching Simon. And knock at the door. Well, actually, the Duke drives off. And that is not Christopher Lee. I've looked at that scene. That's not him driving that car. It is him in other scenes, but not in that scene. Off he goes. And then his car, because obviously they left that. Hang on, where was that car? Either way, it is the Duke's car that McCarthy's got. And as the Duke drives off down to London, this other car comes around the corner. And it is McCarthy. Drives up, knocks at the door. Very suave, very debonair, very nattily attired, nice and suited and booted. Milady, there's a man at the door. Mr. A little silver platter with his calling card, Mr. McCarthy. And like they've been told about him, and like Marie Lawson's like, what? Marie Eaton is going like, shit, what do I do? What do I do? Send him into the parlour or whatever. I'll see him there, but you stay on guard. If I call for you, you arrive. You come quickly. You come immediately. Yes, milady. Yeah. And so she goes to meet him, and he's wonderful. Charles Gray is absolutely outstanding in this sequence, but so is Sarah Lawson. They are both genius in this. She stands her ground. He is allowed to sit down in a parlour chair, and he said, "You've heard a lot about me. I'm sure it's it's all corrupted, from the Duke the Rich. It's not all true, I assure you, it's not all true. But you have two friends of mine who I believe are here." Well, that's funny. How did you know that? Well, let's not go into those details. I need those people back. There are very important matters at hand, and the Duke has interfered. Now, I don't know what he's told you, but, I know all about you. Yes, I have certain powers and, certain interests. You're evil. It's just magic is neither evil nor good. It's a science. It's the power of the will. And as he begins to tell her this, he's putting her under a trance. And it's so well done, so clever. Arthur Grant's photography and Terence Fisher's direction cuts to very sublime but quick and immediate close-ups of Charles Gray's piercing, lovely blue eyes, unblinking. And but this is the kind of soundtrack that was playing at the time. And he's putting her under a trance. Your will is now my will. So you will do as I tell you. Where is Simon? Upstairs. Alone? No. Rex is watching her. No, hang on. Where's Simon? Let's get this right. Cut! Kilt-Man, you fucked it up again. Where is Simon? Upstairs. Alone? Richard's watching her. Him. I shouldn't drink doing these videos, should I? Where's Tanith? Upstairs. Alone. Rex is watching her. And in a great shot, the camera's over Charles Gray's head. Charles Gray, who's been facing, Marie Eaton all this time, just turns around and looks up. And suddenly Tanith's eyes open and she's awake. And this old baronial home, it's got coats of arms, a bit like here, there's weaponry on every wall and that. swords and stuff like. And she picks up like a blade, and she advances towards the sleeping Rex. You know, one job. You've got one fucking job. Keep your eye on her. Don't let her move. Whatever you do. And she's there. She's about to kill him. And I'm like, oh my god, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. And then the little girl Peggy comes in and breaks the spell. And like McCarthy just turns around and sees this little girl. Idea forms in the back of his mind, but broke the spell. Tanith has gone, oh my god, you know, she's gone ballistic. Oh, I was going to kill you, I was going to kill you. Does a runner as well. But in the great scene, this is one of the best scenes ever. Like, obviously, Marie Eaton, the mother, wakes up from his trance and she calls for the manservants and they, get out of here now, leave this place. I'm going. I shan't be back. But something will. Tonight, something will come for Simon and Tanith. Oh no. Oh shit. So off she goes. Now, in the meantime, fucking Tanith's bugged out and Rex has gone after her. She's got out and he's gone crazy trying to find her off into the woods. So Christopher Lee comes back. Oh, once again. What did I say? Where's Tanith? She's gone. What? What? Tanith's gone. Yeah, she tried to kill Rex and she ran off. Well, where's Rex now? He's gone after her. What? Rex has gone as well? Well, yeah, why? What happened? Well, MacArthur was here. MacArthur was here? The fucking hell. Do you not think, Duke the Richlow, that you are the one to blame for all this shit? You tell me, watch so-and-so. Don't let them out of your eyes. Do this, do that. But you don't tell them what the fucking ramifications are. If you did tell them, they might watch them like a fucking hawk and nothing would really happen. So, and then you go off and leave these people who don't have command of all the facts and all the threats. You fuck off and leave them at the whim of a huge fucking ultra powerful warlock. You, Duke the Richlow, are to blame for all of this. You dickhead. Duke the dickhead. But you can do it. He's like, oh, I gave you all one job. You watch her. You watch him. You don't let anyone in. All the worst things happen. I've lost the two people he's after. No, I've lost one of the people he's after. And McCartney's been here and he's put the hex on the place. Oh shit. Well, it's a good job I brought all these things with me then, isn't it? Because then we get the great tour de force. The thing that is the centerpiece of, I was going to say to the devil a daughter then. The devil rides out. We get the attack on the house. The attack on the Eatons and Duke the Richlow. And Simon, because he's still there. Rex and Tanith are now in some little cut down, ramshackle, cobwebby barn and cottage somewhere further out into Blackwood. And in the meantime, like, Duke the Richlow knows, look, we're in the shit now. He's going to come for us tonight. But he says he's not going to be back here again himself, but something will. I know what's going to happen. So they draw like a big circle. They move all the furniture out. And this room is amazing. I want this room. Preferably with all the furnishings in it as well. But even with that big sort of satanic circle, mimicking the ring light that's behind the camera right now. And they have to sit in the centre of this circle. You know what's coming here. And inside the double-barreled border of this circle, the circumference, there's all incantations and spells. And they've got like candles lit up and they've got a jug of water. He said to him, like, don't eat anything, just maybe some bread and some biscuits. And just water, that's all you need. It's going to be a long night, you know, just don't fucking screw this one up. You guys have been shit so far. Everything I've said, you've not listened to. But I don't hold it against you, because I didn't tell you all the facts, did I? So they're in there, in this circle. And like Paul Eddington, Richard, is like, you know, what the hell are we doing this for? And they're lying there sort of head to head, you know, and they're forming, it's not a pentagram, it's not a pentangle, it's just a circle with the four people in it. So you've got Richard there, you've got Duke the Richlow, you've got Simon, and you've got Marie. Peggy is in her room and they're given, here we go again, folks. Can you see what's going to go wrong with this one? They've said to their manservants, watch Peggy. Don't fucking leave her. Sit there and don't leave her. I won't, madam. You can depend on me. You can trust me with your life. I will do this. And off he goes. So anyway, as the evening wears on, it's getting darker. It's getting colder. And the candles begin to go out. And like Paul Eddington is still like, what the fuck is this? I'm sick of this. Don't step out of the circle. Don't do it. Our very souls are in jeopardy here. And it's like, fuck off. About. Knock at the door. Rex's voice. Now this is weird because Duke the Rich does not know if that really is Rex out there or not. But it's Rex's voice. Well, it's not. It's Patrick Allen's voice. It certainly is not Leon Green's voice. But Rex is going, let me in. It's cold out here. Let me in. Ignore it. Don't go to the door. And then his voice, let me in. Recedes off. It's a great little touch, actually. And then, hang on. The candles go out. So the Duke relights the candles. And then suddenly, Patrick Mower, Simon, goes, what's that over there? Oh, dear God. What is over there? It's a great big tarantula. Sweet Jesus. When you see this film, when you first see this film, and I've just watched it before and the effect is still the fucking same. Oh my God almighty. They got 3 spiders, right, from a zoo, and the keeper come in. The first spider died under the intense heat from the lights, Arthur Grant's lights on the set, died. And another spider, I think, was killed as well, inadvertently. I think one survived. But this spider, obviously matte shot superimposed. It's huge and it walks around the circumference of their circle. Arthur Grant's camera moves around. And it's brilliant because it's kind of just slightly off timed. So the cast are watching as this camera moves around, but they're not looking at the camera. They're looking just past the camera. So you kind of get the impression that you're watching them, but the fucking spider's still there, and you're not the spider. So it's around you, and the camera just moves around them in a slow circle. Oh, it's wonderful. Then you cut back to the spider. Yes, it's superimposed. Of course it is. And the film's been restored. Oh, we'll come on to all the added bits to this. We'll come with that because they're important too. Don't let me forget to mention that. But this fucking spider is walking around, and a bit like Indiana Jones again with the snakes. You can see the glass, where the snakes, when he falls into the pit, and the snakes are there. No, snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? You can see the spider, it sort of rears up, against, the circle. But the circle's obviously a huge, powerful aura. And but there's clearly a glass dome the spider's sort of reacting against. So you can see little glimmers of that, reflections. And that they're screaming, and like, oh my God, it's so horrific as well. And then the door opens. Oh my God, the door opens. And little Peggy, the 6-year-old daughter, comes in. Mummy! And they're like, a great scream. No! And like, and the girl's like, Mummy! And like, she turns around. Oh God, her reactions are brilliant. She's not seeing a fucking spider, for God's sake. She's just told to react. And she turns around and she goes, and you see the spider go towards it, and it fucking leaps up like that. And she's like, ah! Oh, God almighty. We just watched this before, and fuck me, it genuinely, every single nerve on my body was jangling. And it's archaic, it's just superimposition. But it's a real fucking spider, and it's a real girl reacting. They're not together in the same thing, but your brain tells you otherwise. And it's like, oh my God, it is genuinely horrific. Get that girl out of there. So quickly, what happens is, I think the Duke of Richmond picks up some water and he throws it at the spider. And it's like, it must be blessed water or holy water, whatever it is. Like, and it breaks the spell, and the girl disappears, and the fucking, because she's not really there. He's saying to him, it's not there. She's not really there. It's just an image. Don't believe it. It's not her. How does he know that? It could be her, and they might have to watch her be devoured by a huge demonic tarantula. But how does he know? Taking a bit of a gamble there. But anyway, the water, she disappears, and the spider just And this is the real dead spider. They poured acid on it. So it's like that on its back. And it melts away to nothingness. In reality, to get that scream out of the little girl, Terence Fisher threw a bucket of ice water over it. To get that scream, Christ almighty, suffering for your art, or what? And it's a really, really potent scene. And it's not over yet. And like, they're going like, is it over? No, not yet. And like, form a circle again. Oh, there's another bit where Patrick Mower, Simon, is under the influence as well. And he acts really well here. He's great throughout the entire movie. He begins to turn and start to walk towards the edge of the circle. And he's walking towards it, but he's kind of doesn't want to do it. He's looking back to them because McCarthy's will is making him do it. Break the circle. And you've broken, all the evil will come in and take them all out. And like, he's just like, like that. Help! And they fucking grab him. And it's Paul Eddington, Richard, who goes, fuck off. And so another good guy gets slugged by another good guy for his own good. Knock him out. He's fucking lying there. Quickly, form a circle. So you've got Duke the Richlow, you've got Richard, and you've got Marie. Form a circle. And you hear cloven hooves. Is it the ghost of Mendez? No, it's not. It's worse than that. It's a horse. It's the angel of death. Comes, you hear it running, scampering around in the gloom, and then suddenly, great effect with flashing blue lights. It comes in through the door, just right through the door and the wall. Fucking horse has got wings. It's like a Nazgul, from Lord of the Rings, and you got this fucking guy on top of it, like with like a helmet on, with a visor down, armor on, and they're like, ah! Now you can imagine in like Evil Dead 2, it'd be like Ash, the hair just goes white. Ah! And it's like, don't look at it, says Richard, don't look at it. If you see its face, your soul will be trapped in hell forever. And all this kind of shit. Like, well, do something. I can't. There are words I can use. Well, fucking use them then. No, I can't until the last possible moment. Until we're sure. Until the end is nigh. And then suddenly the fucking visor flies back, and it's just a skull face there, but it's great though. And it's like oh my god. So it just suddenly breaks their little bond back to back and just goes, I don't know, Cheetos, Oreos, Malefico, blah 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 blah. Fucking loads of gibberish comes out, like it's and it says these epic words, and boo boo, it's gone. We saved. Is it over? Is it over? Is it fuck? But they think it is. And then Rex comes in and he's got Tanith draped in his arms. She's dead. In the meantime, because while this has been going on, Tanith has gone fucking ballistic back in this sort of cottage barn. Even though she's been tied up, McCarthy's put the mesmers there, the long distance mesmers there on her. So again, she's had these wide, and her eyes are gorgeous as well. And again, it's a film of eye close-ups, and she just leans up. My eyes are not that gorgeous. I always knock myself out then. And, she wakes up, and she, through McCarthy, puts the mesmers there on Rex. So Rex unties her. He's kept her there in this barn to stop her from running off again back to McCarthy. But she's now put him under the spell. So he unties her, and then does she knock him out? I think she mesmers him into, but she doesn't escape. She goes to there's all cobwebs everywhere, more fucking spiders. She just goes to the barn door, and she just stands there with her hands on the grill work and all that. And then, but leaning out, but she's clearly died in that moment when Duke the Richlow uses those words. It corrupts time and space, he says. And it changes everything, and the angel of death must take a soul. He can't just come and go with nothing. When he arrives, someone's got to go with him. So Rex arrives with the body of Tanith, and they put her down on this sort of big seat, big couch, and it's that oh shit. So we did all this, and we still lost someone. But then, where's Peggy, the little girl? So Mum and Dad go to see Peggy. As he runs to the door opens. You're way ahead of me again, aren't you? There's that servant, and he just goes, I'm sorry, my lady. I'm sorry. Where's Peggy? She's gone. What? What? One job. Just watch the fucking girl. She's 6 years old. She can't get past you. What happened? And he says to like the Duke de Richelieu, I was there. I was watching, and then this blackness enveloped me, and then when it had gone, so had she. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. You can't trust anyone. It's pointless. Don't give him instructions to watch so-and-so, because it's not going to work. They're going to get away or be abducted. And that's what's happened. MacArthur has taken little Peggy, the 6-year-old girl. Tanith is dead. Peggy's gone. MacArthur's got the girl. Why has he got the girl? Well, we'll find out. What are we going to do? How are we going to find out where she is? Not in London. Where could they possibly have gone? So what does Duke de Richelieu do? This is a bit fucking dodgy, this. He uses spells again. You know, I have Osiris on one side. I have Set on the other side. I have Oreo behind me. Oreo, the god of pathetic biscuits. And he puts blood in this little sort of bowl on a stand and other bits and bobs. And he brings forth the spirit of Tanith through Marie. Because he only knows Marie is susceptible because she got hypnotised by MacArthur. So he uses her as the conduit. And they bring the dead spirit of Tanith back through Tanith. And she speaks with Tanith's voice, so Nike Arrighi's voice. Where's MacArthur taken Peggy? I do not know. No, think. You can see through MacArthur's eyes. Think. Tell me, where is Peggy? Where is MacArthur? And like this goes on. And then she does describe there's a doorway with a great big, what is it? A great big bird on it or something like that. And I'm like, oh, and then she goes, screams, I can't do anymore. I can't tell you. And I'm like, oh shit, we failed. But I think it's Simon who's the fucking root cause of all this. Joining little groups of astronomers that aren't really astronomers, are they? You know, dickhead. So I've seen a house like that with a big bird on the doorway. I probably got that wrong. It's a bird or something on the doorway. And it's basically the house that they went to where Rex gets there just as they're all coming out to go for the big Sabbath. And it's that house anyway. So they all fucking arrive there. And in the that's it, sorry. Simon legs it off on his own. I know where that is. And he drives off. Shit, you know. And so they're thinking, I've got this wrong here. Simon goes off when he realises that Peggy's gone missing. He drives off, and they're like, "No, don't chase him. Don't go after him because that's what MacArthur wants." But that's where, if MacArthur wants that and he's got the girl, then just follow Simon. That's obviously it'll be suicide, says Duke de Richelieu. Then he hypnotises Marie, and that's when he finds out where it is. And I think it's Rex who goes, "Yes, the house that I went to when I found them and they're all coming out, that was there." So they all go there. In the meantime, Simon has gone there and the front door just opens magically. He walks in and a doorway to the cellar, the basement, opens for him. And as he walks in there and you see it, it's a great shot actually. You see him walk on this gantry and he just looks in there like that. And then we cut to what he's looking at. It's like all the fucking coven are there. And there's a big altar. And there's Charles Grey in his purple robes and his fucking esoteric eye and all this kind of shit. And he's like, "Simon, my boy! Welcome back. You joined us. Come, take your place." And like Simon's like, "I want the girl. Give us the girl." He's like, "No, you don't. You know, you're one of us now." "I'm not one of you." "Yes, you are." The eyes again. You know, all this fucking shit. Like, and but why do you want the girl? You've got me now. "Well, yes, I've got you back. That's great. Well, you don't need the girl then." "Oh, I want the girl for another purpose." "Oh no, not like that." Do you know what he wants to do? He still wants Tanith. Apparently that's still the thing. Simon and Tanith are still going to be the ultimate thing to make this coven really, really potent. So he's going to use that girl. He's going to kill Peggy and bring So in killing her, he's going to bring Tanith back, a life for a life, all this kind of stuff. Like, so that's what he's going to do. And like, Simon's like, no, you can't do it. And he's like, yes, we can. And like, Simon picks up the knife and he's like, kind of the sacrificial dagger. But McCarthy's just like, nah, put that down. Go and take your place over there, dickhead. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Bring the girl. And these other purple-robed, minions bring the girl out who's in a big trance. It's little Peggy, like, and put her on this altar. In the meantime, our guys have just arrived there because they obviously wrecked it. It's that house with that fucking thing above the door. There! So they go in there. And then next thing, they're on this gantry. You bastards! Give me my daughter back! And he's like, and poor McCarthy's like that. Oh, fucking hell. Why can things never go right for me? All I want to do, even if I've got the devil watching me, for God's sake, and you pissed him off a couple of times, I'm going to lose my job here. One little girl, one dagger, one slice, job done. Can we just get on with it, please? And like, Paul Eddington, never the action man in anything other than this. That's my fucking daughter. Fucking strives down the fucking stairs like that. Gets a fucking couple of belly blows and they put him down. And but Rex has leapt into action as well. Oh, fucking great. He does a fucking vicious backhand. He comes down the steps and like he slugs out one. Boof! Like that. Fucking guy goes flying. It's like boof! Boof! It's a fucking great maneuver. Bang! Bang! Then he gets clubbed on the back head with some great big fucking chalice. Down he goes. But yeah, he's just like rubbing the back of his head. And then, please, MacArthur, take me, says Duke Richlow. Take me. What? You? The Duke de Richlow? Over an unspoiled innocent child? I don't think so. This is the bigger deal, not you. And suddenly, he's about to do it. He's about to fucking do the deed. And then suddenly Tanith's voice comes out from Marie Eaton, Peggy's mother. Again comes out with all the incantations and spells and stuff like, and put that child down and put that knife away. You've had it. You're for the fucking high jump, you MacArthur. Does all this sort of blairbage, and like because you've had Marie saying to Duke de Richlow, say those words, say the words again, and Duke de Richlow's fucking impotent in this. He's like, I can't. It's too much. I can't say the words. Fucking say them. Just say them. It worked before. Do it now. And but in the end, she's the one that comes out with Tanith's voice. Tanith comes in. Tanith, who's died, sacrificed her life somehow or other, comes out with the words and banishes the whole thing. A fucking bolt of blue lightning comes in and they get the child away, but ignites the altar. The altar blows apart. Flames leap up, all the coven are riding round on a deck in flames, like that. And all the drapes come away from the walls. The basement of this place was a church. You've got the crucifix and all these little resets, and because all these curtains come down, and like MacArthur's like, he's riding round in the flames behind him, flames in front of him, flames all around him, and the crucifix. He's like, what? Suddenly the whole lot vanishes. Everything's gone. Everywhere's clean. And then all our good guys are kind of getting up. What happened there? And as they get up back within the circle in the room, back in the Eaton's household. What? What's going on here? And the body of Tanith is not on the couch where it was when he hypnotised Marie to bring Tanith through to her. What's happened? And de Richlow says, hang on a second. When I said those words, it changes time and space. This is where it's a bit of a mind fuck, to be honest. It is a total mind fuck at the end of this. And it's one of the first films to do something like this, actually, which must have had people scratching their heads and like thinking, but I don't get it. What? How have you moved from this, the girl safe? What did you do? I don't get it. But they've turned back time. He said, as de Richlow says, all those events that happened, and yet now they have not happened. Okay, so you want me to go and watch someone again? Is it one of your shitty instructions? Go and watch someone, but don't tell me the full facts. Is that what you're saying now? What happened, but now it hasn't happened. what are you saying? And but everywhere it's light, it's airy. He opens the windows, sunlight. He opens the door, and who did he see coming across the lawn? It's Rex and Tanith. Tanith is alive! Tanith is alive! Alive! And everything's happy. And they're all like scratching their heads. And there's the little girls there as well, and the manservants there. Everyone's happy. You know, it's all. Well, hang on. But if no one died, and the angel of death came, no, the angel of death took someone. He always takes someone. You know, it's a life for a life, a soul for a soul. Well, if Tanith didn't go, none of us went. Well, who went? Is MacArthur safe as well? No. MacArthur is the one that was taken. If the angel of death did not take another life, it'll take the one that summoned him. MacArthur has gone. No less. And like Patrick Mower, Simon, who fucking caused all this shit, just goes, thank God. And you got like Duke de Richelieu says like, yes, he is the one we must thank. And then you get this gorgeously ecclesiastical music from James Bernard at the end, which is wonderful. I'm going to see if I can find it actually. Oh God. Now, thanks to my good friend David Hookvale, who is a musician, composer and historian of James Bernard and Hammer movies himself, and a good friend of mine. As he says, when James Bernard died, he had this piece of music playing during the funeral because he loved working on this movie, and he loved this score in particular of all his own scores. And this is the sort of end finale music. After all the hell and hullabaloo that we've gone through, it's resolution, absolution, and and kick the shit out of all those manservants who couldn't do one simple job. Nobody, absolutely no one does the right thing in this movie. Now, if you listen to this music here, Valija Kajcek, who did the music for Bram Stoker's Dracula for Francis Ford Coppola, the wonderful score there, and Dracula obviously, emulates this music for his finale of the Dracula in that version. It's beautiful, ecclesiastical, slightly pastoral, but totally ethereal and beautiful. When they're all trying to, are we all okay? Really? Is everything fine? You're there, you're there, you're there, you're there. In that scene as well, where MacArthur is interrogating or trying to ingratiate himself charmingly, suavely, smarmily into the world of the Eatons to try to get the information as to where Tanith and Simon are. Marie Eaton is sitting there and she's got Peggy's teddy bear in her hands and she's caressing the teddy bear, and it's a great touch. It's a great, you're signifying the fact that little girl is going to become pivotal and become a target, but she's anchoring her faith and love with a child's toy. So that sequence is truly astonishing. This is a film that has so many great moments. You know, the initial, who are these people at this party? What are you doing with this telescope? What's this goat of Mendez doing on the floor? What are these chickens doing in a basket? Simon, come clean. And then the constant people being abducted, snatched, and mesmerised. The car chases. The entire Goat of Mendez sequence is magnificent. The circle, oh my God. The spider, the angel of death. Sweet Jesus. Fantastic. The finale with the ritual, the sacrifice about to take place. The whole time slip stuff. So much goes on. So much is happening. There's so much action that takes place. Is it any wonder that The Devil Rides Out is one of Hammer's genuine masterpieces? It's not Dracula, it is not Frankenstein, it's not The Mummy, there's no werewolves, It's the occult, that intangible, most intangible, and completely out of grasp themes that they've ever used, and they use it so superbly well, albeit with tons of stereotypes. McCarter is the arch evil Aleister Crowley, great beast warlock, but he is, in all intents and purposes, Dracula. He's the arch fiend, cunning, deviant, nasty, powers of mesmerising victims and other people to do his bidding. And then you've got the dyed-in-the-wool, devil-may-care, dedicated, devoted hero, the Duke de Richelieu, Van Helsing. That's what it is. It's the age-old, battle of good against the evil. But both must make sacrifices. Both must. The toll is taken on both of them. Although you do see Christopher Lee, that arch aristocratic stoic face of his, but noble and regal, it does break into a lovely warm smile when everything's okay at the end. Lee is magnificent in this role. He wanted to do more of Duke de Richelieu. Sadly, the two films that they had earmarked for it, the two other novels they had earmarked for it, they were abandoned. It didn't happen. He always said he'd love to see a remake and possibly star in a remake of this with today's special effects, because obviously this guy went on to do a lot of movies throughout the 80s, the 90s, and then obviously into Lord of the Rings, Saruman, and you can see how he would have thought, oh god, my favourite role, Duke de Richelieu, and the effects with these guys doing it, oh my god, this would be wonderful. Not to be. Well, not in his lifetime. I can imagine a remake of this taking place, certainly, or readaptations of Wheatley's stuff. The book is tremendous. I do recommend it, but you've got a lot more going on. Duke de Richelieu has to get the talisman of Set and demolish that to make sure that McCarter's cult can't instigate another world war. That's what they want to do. So I can't hear the full convolutions, but it's all anarchy and corruption, isn't it? So, which he does. And wisely, Richard Matheson, with his rewriting and adaptation of it, jettisons all of that stuff, and he keeps it linear and enough of the wow out there stuff. I mean, you think about it, the devil appears a few times in this. That's pretty strong stuff. And it's not just a minion, it's the devil himself is there. And our boys go up against that. You can't just go and have breakfast the next day. What did you guys do last night? Was it an all-nighter? Yeah, my God. They'll tell you about it one day. You just can't, you're never going to get your head around that, are you? But great acting all across the board. Little Peggy's fantastic. That scream. Okay, a bucket of ice water probably did the trick there, but you genuinely believe she's looking at a huge kick-ass fucking tarantula from the supernatural realm. Paul Eddington is great as the skeptic who gradually comes around to it and tries to leap into the fray and gets the shit kicked out of him. Leon Greene is awesome as Rex Van Lynn. Fucking hell. He's great as the master of daring do. The hit first, think later. He's in there like a shot, And he gets his babe at the end of it as well. Nike Arrighi as Tanith is wonderful. Ethereal, floaty, strange, exotic. Matt Strange, crazy old countess with the cross eyes. That's pretty out there, to be honest, as well. Writhing around, dancing around with blood and robes, and like everyone's necking each other, like her eyes are like that. Brilliant. Charles Gray, sweet fucking hell, like that. His performance, he's great in everything. Although he did tend to play, he'd be like a guest star, a cameo, a walk on. And he'd play a smarmy, effete, aristocratic nobleman with ulterior motives. But this is the signature for him, and he is truly remarkable. Oily, manipulative, cunning, devious. And you can imagine where you fall under the spell, under the thrall of this guy. You would do. That's how it works. And he's wonderful, what's her name? Oh, God. Sarah Lawson as Mary Eaton almost steals the show, and her great sequences. Okay, a couple of times she's not using her voice; it's Tanith's voice, but it's still commanding presence. And her confrontation with McCarter is fabulous, and she stands her ground. Only when he puts the hypno stare on her, and then when the spell's broken, get out, and I shan't be back, but something will. Tonight, something will come for Simon and Tanith. Off he goes, striding out with his cane and his trilby, fucking furious. There are shades of the great Night of the Demon. There are, without doubt, shades of that. But I'm going to... That voice there, by the way, could be James Bernard, or it could be the music arranger himself, which was, let me see, Philip Martell. Could be. I've got the full soundtrack to, The Devil Rides Out. I keep wanting to say To the Devil Adores. I don't know why, because that film is absolute crap. It's not even a complete film. The film is broken. It was cut down, and even the film wasn't even properly finished off. It was a mess, a travesty. And Richard Widmark just doesn't want to be there. He's in a different movie altogether. And so is Christopher Lee, for that matter. But I don't know why I keep wanting to say that title instead of, The Devil Rides Out, which is a great, great title. And I say the score, James Bernard's score, is just superlative. His signature trademark style, like dun dun dun, which is Dracula, or even Frankenstein. You've got all that, and that it is here. The Devil Rides Out. You've got that. It's in the main theme. To the Devil Adores It. No. Let's not go there. But yeah, the dialogue's great. A lot of it's ripe. It's old school. But Matheson giving the American sort of bent, which is what Anthony Hines wanted, because the other writer, which was, I forgot the name of the other writer, to be honest, John Hunter, I think it was. It's too English. It's way too English. We need someone else to look on the outside, because it is very quintessentially English, a witchcraft novel translated into a film by a British studio set during the 1920s. It's going to be quintessentially English, but I want to give it a different slant. I wouldn't say that it comes over like John Landis with the American Wealth in London, because that was the most British film I've ever seen is An American Wealth in London, and it's shot by an American, because he came in with his unique, quirky observations and sense of humour, and saw and observed British life during the late 70s and early 80s. That's what he saw, and that's what he mimicked, and he brought it in properly, and it's totally authentic. This, with Matheson, it's still very, very English. What he brought to it was streamlining all the extra subplots and the narrative, making it really strong and linear, and cutting down dialogue a lot as well. There's a lot of verbiage in the book, so he makes it very stark, distinct. It's very cutting, very slicing comments and retorts and banter, but it works a treat. Cinematography, Arthur Grant stuff is great. The effects and the restoration. Right, the film underwent a proper restoration. In terms of not just restoring all the defects and the deterioration on the print, but they changed the effects as well. Now, I know some people do not like this. I know. Star Wars, Jason the Argonauts. But as everyone said, Harryhausen himself said, they took the strings out of Jason the Argonauts for the harpies and stuff like that. He said, if I could have fucking done it at the time, I'd have done it. I don't want you to see strings. And nobody was, it's part of the charm. They didn't want you to see them though. At the cinema when you're a kid, you don't notice these things. Back in the 60s and 70s, you don't notice that shit. But when you watch them again, home video, and especially high definition, you're like, oh shit, Alex, they're fake that, doesn't it? So why not go in and take them out? This doesn't work across the board. This is very subjective, I know. I don't mind Jason the Argonauts being tampered with. It looks way better now, as far as I'm concerned. And this film looks way better as well. Because what they've done, there's a handful of scenes where they actually went in and put new effects in there. Now, one of them is when they arrive at Simon's house with the big sort of observatory. There's a wonky shot, an establishing shot when you get there. And it's a background of sky, ominous dark clouds. Not the best night for fucking observing constellations. It's fucking ominous, stormy black clouds. You've got trees there with a bad mat line around it, and you've got this observatory, which is an addition, a miniature put in there, and this observatory with a big wonky fucking wobbling bloody mat light. So the whole thing's kind of higgledy-piggledy, herky-jerky. So they went in there and they stabilised it all. They took the lions out. They changed the tree line and put better trees in, and they modified the sky. It looks way better. It looks way better. It's in 2 shots. The opening shot, when you see it, and then they're at the doorway, and Christopher looks up at this thing, and you see it from a different angle. Again, did the same thing. Looks way better. And then, of course, you get the spider, right? The spider. A real spider parading around, superimposed. But there was too much, it was too much clarity on it initially, which made it look even more fake. So they added more shadow. They brought out more clarity, but added shadow, so it made it look more realistic. There's more colour in it now as well. So it rears up and you see its fucking hairy belly and all this, all these teeth going, and these fucking hissy eyes and venom. It looks even more like, oh my god, and it is truly shocking. The Angel of Death appears. They changed all that. So when the visor goes back and you see this skull face, initially there was nothing in the background. It was just dead plain. So it was like, hardly. So but they put this ominous lightning blue-black nightmarish sky behind him. This matte background of all this fucking electro stuff going on. And the visor goes up like, there's no fucking eyes, it's a skull. It just looks more dynamic. The lightning bolt that hits the altar at the end when Tanith's incantation comes out of Marie Eaton's mouth, and she condemns Mokata, and like this lightning will like that. It's more sharp now, blows this fucking altar apart. Looks better. You might be a purist and say like, no, I don't agree with that. That's not the way it was shot. No, but it's not the way it was shot. But I guarantee you, it's how they would rather it had actually happened. So. Looks great now. That's on the UK Blu-ray, and I'm sure it's the US Blu-ray as well. I don't know, but it must be that restoration's gone around the world. It looks tremendous and sounds great too. So, The Devil Rides Out remains a huge hallmark of Hammer. Hammer cut their teeth, especially with Dracula and Frankenstein. The one werewolf foray for Fairy, which wasn't a TV show. Hammer House of Horror TV show had Children of the Full Moon. I discussed it at length, did a big video on that episode, which is awesome. Diana Dawes and the Woodcutter Wolfman. Oh my god, fantastic. But Curse of the World is one of their most controversial movies due to censorship cuts and then reinstatements and all this. But so you've got all the classic monsters. The Mummy is there as well. All the Frankenstein saga, Dracula saga, the Mummy saga, so many sequels and the evolution of the saga. And then you get this. This is a standalone movie, which is powerful. It's exciting. There's action aplenty. There's genuine fear. There's great characters. There's great set pieces. There's so many sequences which absolutely become benchmarks for the horror genre and stand the test of time. Again, having said that, I've just watched it again before doing this video. That spider sequence, fucking hell on earth, mate. When that girl comes in and they're going, no, Peggy, no. And she hasn't seen the spider. And then she turns around. Oh, she goes, oh, God almighty. Make it stop. It's genius. Fucking genius. So, folks, there you go. That's another Hammer classic horror movie given the full kilted treatment. By the way, it is The Hunting MacLeod. Yes, I wear it a lot. It's one of my favourites actually. This whiskey is not one of my favourites, but it's it's all I've got. So bottoms up. As I said before, please guys, let me know. These big epic videos now, I'm going to try to make them more regular. And for older movies, let's get back into these. Without these older movies, you wouldn't have the whole slew of Halloween Ends and all the movies that come to Scream. You wouldn't have these movies. You wouldn't have the horror genre like it is today, which we all know, love, revere and look forward to and highly anticipate each new entry. But you wouldn't have it without the likes of Hammer. Hammer and Universal. The two big studios, and there's RKO as well. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Don't get me wrong. But Universal horror, Hammer horror are what really, really paved the way, pushed boundaries, made possible the imagination and the flair for all the independent filmmakers. Your John Carpenters, your Roger Corman, your George Romero, your David Cronenberg. Without these stalwart horror studios and their huge output, you would not have had these guys making their movies, which further pushed boundaries and gave impetus to other filmmakers. So this is where it all began. It began with Universal, it kept on with Hammer, who really broke the mold and changed everything, and then ate themselves alive by just endless regurgitation. But there's so many classics. And nothing symbolises Hammer more than James Bernard and this kind of raucous, grab you by the balls and the jugular and take you for a fucking roll down a hill kind of music. It's in your face. I'm having you for dinner tonight. You will die in hell ablaze with me. It's just fuck you. It's awesome stuff, isn't it? Folks, there you go. To the Devil a Daughter. The Devil Rides Out, one of the greatest masterpieces that Hammer ever put out. It's fantastic. I urge you all to watch it and watch it again and again and again. And someone tell me that was Leon Greene that does that stunt, hitting that jalopy. Well, he doesn't hit it, he just gets out of the way in time. That's him. Please, God, tell me that's him, because that just cements this movie all the more. Folks, I have been on with Shabby Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, in this ever esoteric, occultist in between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all in a temple of Set near you.